Today's lesson for reflection is one of a continuing series from many authors about prayer. This one is titled Wrestling with God and is from the Holy Father, Pope Francis. The patriarch Jacob was a man who shrewdly developed his best talent, what we might call a self-made man, who obtained what he desired through his own ingenuity. The biblical account tells us about the difficult relationship Jacob had with his brother Esau from the very beginning, a rivalry that is never overcome. But although he is the younger son, Jacob, through trickery, obtains the blessing and birthright of the firstborn from his father Isaac. It is only the first in a long series of ploys of which this unscrupulous man is capable. Jacob manages, seemingly through his own devices, to succeed in life. Even when he is forced to flee from his brother, he is able to enrich himself and to enter a promising marriage. But something is missing. And one day he hears the call of home and sets out for his ancient homeland, where his brothers still live. When he reaches the final stage of his journey, Jacob pauses, wondering what awaits him upon his return. It is here, while he is reflecting on the reception he will receive, that suddenly a stranger grabs him and begins to wrestle with him. The spiritual tradition of the Christian Church has retained the symbol of prayer as a battle of faith and as the triumph of perseverance, using the image of Jacob wrestling with a lion. After wrestling with the stranger throughout the night, Jacob is finally overcome when his opponent strikes his sciatic nerve. After asking Jacob his name, he tells him, "Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men, and have prevailed." He refuses to tell Jacob his own name, but blesses him instead. And Jacob understands he has encountered God face to face. Wrestling with God is a metaphor for prayer. Jacob, who had always succeeded in life by his own effort, is reminded that he is a mortal man who trembles and fears. For once, Jacob has only his frailty and powerlessness to present to God. This is when he is finally able to receive God's blessing, with which he limps into the promised land, vulnerable and wounded, but with a new, beating, human heart. We too have an appointment in the night with God. In the night of our life, in the many nights of our life, dark moments, moments of sin, moments of disorientation. It is when we are alone and are able to recognize our own weaknesses that God comes to us. But it is precisely in that moment we need not fear, because God will give us a new name, which contains the meaning of our entire life. He will offer us the blessing reserved to those who have allowed themselves to be changed by Him. May you find God waiting for you in your darknesses and achieve that new name known only to Him. Amen.